Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources. Updating daily noontime New York City.
Finance and economics.
March 25. 2000 America, New York. Millennial demand helps stoke the housing boom. The frenzy reflects more than demographics.
Finance and economics.
March 25. 2000 America, New York. The parallels between the nickel trading fiasco and the LIBOR scandal. From afar, London's vaunted finance industry heritage looks a lot like backwardness.
New York Times Business. March 24. 1120 America, New York. Uber partners with yellow taxi companies in N.Y.C. The ride-hailing giant is partnering with two taxi technology companies in New York City. New Yorkers ordering an Uber will be able to choose a yellow taxi under a new partnership.
BBC News. Business. March 24. 1119 America, New York. Uber to list New York City yellow taxis in-app. The partnership with a former foe comes as the company faces a driver shortage.
New York Times Business.
March 24. 1020 America, New York. Is America's economy entering a new normal? Policymakers are wrestling with the reality that the pandemic may mark a turning point in the nation's economic plot. A mall in Miami Beach, Florida. Earlier this month.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
March 24. 1010 America, New York. Elon Musk's SpaceX boosts prices for internet service, rocket launches. The space company points to inflationary pressures as the reason for its price increases.
Daily FX Market News.
March 24. 10 o'clock America, New York. U.S. flash PMI beats expectations despite persistent inflation, Russia-Ukraine tensions. A flash PMI survey for March showed business activity remains strong in the U.S., fueled by robust demand for goods and services.
The Library of Economics and Liberty.
March 24. 939 America, New York. Ivermectin and statistical significance. At the time this article was written, the website c19ivermectin.com listed 73 clinical trials of ivermectin and COVID-19, involving 56,774 patients, as having been conducted.
Daily FX Market News.
March 24. 928 America, New York. Hawkish SARB hikes by 0.25%, raises forecast for GDP and inflation. The Monetary Policy Committee voted 3-2 in favor of a 25 bits per second hike and revised both GDP growth and inflation higher from the January meeting.
Global economy.
March 24. 909 America, New York. ECB to tighten banks' access to cheap funding. Phase-out of relaxed collateral requirements shows confidence Eurozone can manage economic fallout from Ukraine war.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
March 24. 907 America, New York. Jobless claims fall in tight labor market. Initial jobless claims, a proxy for layoffs, decreased by 28,000 to a seasonally adjusted 187,000 last week, the lowest level since September 1969.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. March 24. 853 America, New York. Uber will list all New York City taxis on its app. The alliance could ease Uber's driver shortage and temper high fares while directing more business to cab drivers, whose livelihoods were affected by the emergence of car-sharing apps in the pandemic.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
March 24. 849 America, New York. Russian stock market jumps with foreign investors blocked from selling. The rally was overshadowed by moves to stifle foreign investors from selling shares.
BBC News Business.
March 24. 813 America, New York. Funeral firm collapses leaving fears over payments. Safe Hands, which has 45,000 customers in the UK, sold funeral plans that may no longer be honored.
BBC News. Business.
March 24. 813 America, New York. Funeral firm collapses leaving fears over payments. Safe Hands, which has 45,000 customers in the UK, sold funeral plans that may no longer be honored.
BBC News Business.
March 24. 813 America, New York. P&O Ferries. Not consulting on job cuts broke law, boss admits. Peter Hebblethwaite admits P&O should have consulted unions before sacking 800 ferry workers.
BBC News. Business.
March 24. 813 America, New York. P&O Ferries. Not consulting on job cuts broke law, boss admits. Peter Hebblethwaite admits P&O O should have consulted unions before sacking 800 ferry workers.
Daily FX Market News. March 24, 8 o'clock America New York. Ethereum, ETH, USD. Outlook. Positive and challenging in equal measures. The outlook for Ethereum is turning positive again as a series of higher lows pushes ETH, USD back into a cluster of prior swing lows.
New York Times Business.
March 24, 7:54 America New York. Larry Fink and Howard Marks warn of the end of globalization. Influential investors say that there could be a permanent shift in the world order. Larry Fink of BlackRock says that countries are about to re-evaluate their dependencies.
Global economy.
March 24, 7:46 America New York. UK Business Survey points to stagflation. Waning optimism in services and manufacturing combine with rising inflation to drive concern.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
March 24, 7:34 America New York. Credit Suisse warns of $500 million hit from billionaire's lawsuit. The bank has spent years fending off claims from Bidzina Ivanishvili, who sued it in Bermuda and Singapore for breach of trust, alleging he lost $800 million on forged trades made by his private banker.
Global economy.
March 24, 7:07 America New York. Spring statement. Sunak misses an opportunity to help households out of a hole. The cost of living crisis requires more drastic action than the Chancellor delivered on Wednesday.
Wall Street Journal Markets. March 24, 7:03 America New York. China's stock market weathers heavy foreign outflows. The outflow this month, via the Stock Connect trading link, is on pace to be the second largest monthly drawdown since the program began in 2014. It reflects a reassessment of geopolitical risk following the financial isolation of Russia.
Digital finance.
March 24, 5:25 America New York. Finance's tokenized future. Highlights from our discussion on prospects for tokenizing securities with Fusong, BNY Mellon, Fidelity. The Post Finance's tokenized future appeared first on Digital Finance.